Welcome back. The President of the National Council on Public Transportation, Godfrey Ferdinand, is clearing the air following allegations mounted by the Gros Islet Minibus Association, where drivers claimed that the route was being pirated by the Moshi Minibus Association. Ferdinand says while a full investigation will be carried out, the details currently available to him suggest that the allegations may be flawed.
In a previous interview with Hot 7 TV, the public relations officer of the Gros Islet Minibus Owners Association alleged that operators of the adjacent Moshi Minibus Association were caught pirating the route, carrying passengers who wanted to avoid taking the line to have their hands sanitized prior to boarding the Gros Islet buses. The issue was then raised to Transport Minister Guy Joseph, who promised swift action to penalize any guilty parties. However, President of the National Council on Public Transportation, Godfrey Ferdinand, says that both parties may have spoken before properly investigating the matter. Upon commencing his own investigation into the issue, Ferdinand believes that there was a misinterpretation on part of the Gros Islet Minibus Owners Association.
What would be best is for an investigation to be done, and in my capacity, I did my internal investigation. So I spoke to Moshi Minibus Association to find out whether or not that was happening. They said to me that it didn't happen. Persons with uniforms with, let's say, Johnson's uniforms did come on the bus stand, but these individuals were not going as far up as to the Johnson store up north. So when the operators saw that, they thought that they participating in a piracy.
Ferdinand believes that the course of initial discussions on the matter was unproductive. The NCOPT president stresses that how drivers interact with each other, as well as how they are addressed by higher powers in the transport sector, are of great significance to progress or lack thereof in the industry.
I think that some reviews need to be done in terms of the legislation, in terms of how we manage operators, as well as, I shouldn't say manage, but maybe interact with them as well as the passengers. So if we interact with the operators differently as well as the customers, we would have a much smoother sector.
Upon completion of the investigation into this matter, the NCOPT will address its membership to mitigate any developing conflicts which may have come with piracy concerns. Jacques Wooding, Hot 7 News.
The MP for Soufrière Fort-Saint-Jacques, Herod Stanislas, says as the number of tourist arrivals into St. Lucia increases, the economic situation on the ground in Soufrière improves. To date, 3 hotels in Soufrière have reopened, affording previously laid-off employees an opportunity to return to work. Stanislas has also issued a stern warning to individuals who spread false information about COVID-19 to not gamble with the livelihood of his constituents.
The town of Soufrière is well known for its touristic sites and attractions and is regarded as a tourism mecca. However, COVID-19 dealt a major blow to the community, leaving hundreds out of jobs and many businesses closed down. To date, over 16,000 visitors have returned to St. Lucia since its official reopening of borders on July 9, 2020. Soufrière MP Herod Stanislas says despite COVID being a fluid situation, he is relieved that some form of normalcy has returned to the touristic town.
Well, I'm very happy that some of the Soufrière hotels, I think 3 or 4 of the Soufrière hotels were the very first to be COVID certified and reopened during this pandemic. Currently, I've spoken to Sugar Beach, and this week Sugar Beach is at 90% occupancy with over 300 guests at the hotel. Ladera is doing quite well. I know on Chancellor Jade Mountain they have quite a few persons. So I'm very happy, very pleased with the occupancy at those resorts right now. Sugar Beach, I remember furloughed about 140 employees. They are now calling back some of those persons to work. So this is a very good sign. It means that the sector, the confidence is there in St. Lucia, in the sector, and I want to commend those hotels for really putting their neck out and ensuring that the staff are back at work.
He also addressed the issue of misinformation and fake news, making the rounds on social media, stating that it could be detrimental for the tourism sector. He believes that propaganda is very much politically motivated.
it is really a shame, it's embarrassing for persons to be spewing fake news and propaganda about hotels having COVID and so on the island. And this doesn't go well for the sector in St. Lucia and Soufrière in general. I mean, Soufrière is the mecca of tourism. We've got some of the premier hotels in St. Lucia located in Soufrière. All the major attractions of the country are found in Soufrière. And if we are to continue on this path of spreading rumors and fake news just for our political agenda, it is going to be catastrophic for the industry, catastrophic on the livelihoods of St. Lucians, especially by good people of Soufrière. So I'm calling on those persons to stop it, be more patriotic to St. Lucia. We all have our political affiliations, but we ought to be cognizant of the damage that we are causing.
Stanislas says, as the number of arrivals continue to increase, there will be more measures put in place for other individuals who depend on the tourism industry, such as craft vendors. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
Journée Creole 2020 was observed on Sunday. However, due to COVID-19 protocols, people were encouraged to celebrate at home within their family circle. In order to keep the spirit alive, Events St. Lucia and CDF collaborated to present a Journée Creole live celebration, Journée Creole Lakaino. Genevieve Gonzague tells us more.
Journée Creole is one of the biggest cultural celebrations in St. Lucia. Due to the advent of COVID-19, the mass crowd festivities associated with the cultural celebration had to take a back seat. Events St. Lucia, the FRC, and the CDF presented Creole Lakaino as part of their Moi Heritage Creole festivities. Hosts Kidel Sonny and Kennedy Boots Samuel engaged various guests, including the Executive Director of the Folk Research Center, Louise Victor.
Même si COVID vini, coupable jadi, COVID passa détruit qu'il t'y blessé. Nous avons c'est une bonne occasion pour co place recherche folklore co organisation qui commence Journée Creole et puis Moi Heritage Creole pour ça pour te chercher une manière pour nous still célébrer même si nous pas assembler même si nous pas venir ensemble et nous ca servir technologie qu'on a aujourd'hui et nous et tout bail pas bien. C'est la première fois que nous avons fait, mais nous avons fait toute l'histoire et nous avons cherché une manière l'année qui venir pour faire plus meilleur.
There were also lots of exhibits of various foods and dances synonymous with the Creole culture.
Oui.
There were also performances by traditional folk as well as modern Dennery segment artists. Let's take a look.
Tout bout de violence, il pas qu'à faire cesse by la vie en chance. Oui. Tout bout de violence, maman. Tout bout de violence. Ok. Ok. Aïe. Moi t'as changé les moi c'était anti maman. Maman moi t'es moutoué moi en chai bagay. La vie maman t'es moutoué moi pour respecter. Pas même en zandoli maman t'es vle moi tuer. Alors moi dit tout bout de violence. Hush, 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 why, hush, hush, why? Fais that now, fais hush, 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 hush. Annually, say hush, 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 hush. Écoutez-moi, écoutez-moi. Annually, why? Qui laisse Kaidi going way? Qui laisse Kaidi going way? Qui laisse Kaidi going way?
Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Local artist Teddyson John is expanding his musical portfolio with the release of his first acoustic album entitled Caribbean Moscato. On Friday the 25th of October, he released a daringly mellow version of his hit Creme de la Creme, featuring St. Lucian hip-hop artist KO. John says this release is simply an appetizer for an 11-track album to come this November.
It's a brand new acoustic album, live with my band, the TJ Project. The first single today was Creme de la Creme featuring St. Lucian rapper KO, you understand, who's in Toronto right now. The entire album is strictly St. Lucian. St. Lucian band musicians, the persons who mixed and mastered the project. We decided to drop it on the 22nd of November because it's the Feast of Musicians, it's St. Cecilia's Day, and we just feel that it's really nice to highlight what it is and let everybody know.
Caribbean Moscato will be officially released on the 22nd of November to commemorate St. Cecilia's Day, the Feast of Musicians. As for now, the special edition Creme de la Creme track can be streamed, downloaded and purchased on iTunes, Tidal and Spotify. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. Our special Ma Heritage Creole feature, sports and weather are all coming up after the break.